Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Carm Capriato, hello to North America, week 123 with this great podcast, Aftermarket Weekly. And we're gonna talk to Todd Cole from TC Auto Service in Corpus Christi, Texas. He's got a great story. Hi, Todd.
Good morning.
Good to see you, man. Glad to have you on the show. He's got a great story, as I said, where he's only owned the shop for about 4 years now. And I'm curious what he was doing before that. And it's a really, really good story. Hey, if let's show a picture of the outside of the shop. I mean, you took a wow, what a big shop. Can't wait to see how what's going on inside that shop. So thank you so much for that. If you're with us on social media, please check in, say hi, get into the chat box with us, share this with someone. Of course, it's up on my website. It is on social, all kinds of every one of our social medias. So, share it with some people, watch it over and over again, share it with friends that you may know. You may know Todd. And we're coming to you live from the Dorman OE Fix studio. And we're going to be down at Dorman on a field trip this weekend, Tracy and I. There's some training going on. I want to film some of the back scenes that go on at Dorman. I think they publish maybe 20 or 30 brand new products a week. So we want to go in there and see how they do that and get an inside view of what's going on at Dorman. And again, as I say, always thank you to Dorman for sponsoring the show. Dorman consistently is looking for improved solutions to help save time and money for those who are performing the repairs. Dorman's all-in-one loaded backing plate solution does just that. With zero assembly required, you can now stop disassembling multiple pieces to make backing plate and e-brake repairs. Dorman's loaded backing plates deliver a complete solution. This assembly replaced all the failure-prone components by combining parking brake shoes and hardware onto the backing plate. The pre-mounted parking brake shoes, springs, and clips for a bolt and go solution. Want to know more about Dorman? Well, visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Hey, would you like to learn more about Dorman's innovations? Visit dormanproducts.com/tour. Thanks again, Dorman. Yeah, Tracy and I are heading down to Dorman in Philadelphia. We're just north of Philadelphia. We're excited to go out and hang out there and come back with some really cool interviews and some nice video. Okay, so let's talk some business, Todd. I'd like to get to know you a little bit and see what's going on in Corpus Christi. I guess more importantly, how is the economy? What's going on with business in Corpus Christi? Good?
It's good. It's just ups and down. It's just a little inconsistent from what we're used to. It's been a crazy kind of 4 years for me.
Really? And that's a point. He's only owned the business for 4 years. And previous to that, as Todd was telling me, he was in medical devices. What kind?
I used to service and sell cardiac implantable defibrillators and pacemakers.
So I love it. Let me see. Let me go and buy an auto shop. Did you wake up one? Did you wake up one day and said, "Hey, this sounds like a cool new career"?
It wasn't that abrupt, but I was thinking about making a change and doing my own business. And I'd been a customer of TC's for a little, almost 20 years. And so I knew him well. I was looking to make a change. And I showed up for an oil change one day. And I actually asked him, I was like, TC, when are you going to retire? Because he'd always talk about, fishing more, hunting more. And he goes, as soon as I find a sucker to buy the place. And I didn't miss a beat. And I said, well, there's a sucker born every minute. And that's how it started.
Wow. So, and then somehow did you hire an accountant, an agent, a coach? How did you get into how the numbers work?
Well, it was a decision, though. I grew up with my family being in the auto service industry,
Okay.
going back to my great grandfather, my grandfather, my father. My father actually was raised in a Ohio gas station, service station.
Got it.
And so, fond memories of, visiting the grandparents back then. But I initially rolled into it where he was going to stay on for 6 months. And the staff I had known for some 18 years. So it was a comfortable transition for me. Being a previous owner, I liked it so much is why I wanted to buy it.
It's so interesting that your lineage has automotive service in it, so you weren't afraid of it.
No, it's always been, I've always been around vehicles, loved them, and an enthusiast. But it didn't pay the bills. And but then if you're going to do something you enjoy.
So I find it amazing that it's called TC Auto Service and your initials are TC.
Didn't have to change the sign.
God, I find that so fascinating because I was wondering if you had changed the name, but no, obviously you didn't. And it had been in the community for 67 years.
Well, since 1967, so
Okay.
55 years. Yes.
Okay, 55. So look, you probably saw huge opportunities to grow the business. How old were the owners that retired?
TC, I believe, was about 80, yeah,
Ah,
78 or 80-ish.
okay, 78
So
or 80. So you bring in some new, young, crazy blood like yours, and you grew the business big time, right?
we've had fun, and and it's been a fun 4 crazy years, nonetheless. The last two especially, but yeah, we've had some nice growth, and one of my biggest goals the first day I showed up is I wanted to keep everybody that wanted to stay. And we have one of our senior technicians here, Carlos Garcia. He's been here, I think, now 34 years,
Jeez.
and he's done wonderful, and he's having a lot of fun as well.
Incredible lineage. And then, like you didn't have anything else to do, Todd, what made you decide on store two?
Yeah. Well, we actually were running out. I like to say we were running out of concrete as we were growing. And so I thought, it'd be a great place as a, satellite, an annex was my original thoughts for it. But then when we got in there, it was a bigger facility. It was sitting on a little over an acre and a half. And, just getting into it and finding and plugging in the right people, we were able to grow it. Now the stores are in competition on their revenue.
Wow, how exciting. So you're almost south of San Antonio, a little southwest of Houston,
Yes, sir.
and how far from the border?
About 2 hours, a little over 2 hours.
2 hours from the border. Gotta be an exciting time out there for you and growing, so we really can't wait to see your place, and, cardiac. I find that I just, I've seen some, uh, shop owners that have left the financial world and some other really interesting places, the dealership to come in and buy an independent, but not the healthcare. So it's good to know that you did that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I made a couple different changes in my career. I started off in software, and then jumped into pharmaceuticals, and then from pharmaceuticals jumped into cardiac devices. So, jumping into a new industry wasn't new for me, and it was one as I mentioned before, I had a passion for, and I'm enjoying it. We're having fun.
What do you gotta do to keep people around for 30 years?
Well, we start off with tacos in the morning. I if somebody that's staying around for 34 years, he just loves what he does, and he comes in positive every day, and he loves to teach, which he's evolved now into from being on flag time back to moving to salary. And so that now he's, that foreman position, but he's also that senior tech when somebody gets in trouble. Being on salary, we plug him in and he helps maintain our quality.
I can see that. Anything going on with the staffing with any younger people that he would be a great mentor to?
Absolutely. We have a group of apprentices for him, and he's the mentor. And he's a new position. He started just this month rolling into that position, but he has trained several other technicians that have been with us through the years. And so we're excited to have him dedicated in that mentor role going forward.
It's always great to have shop owners from around the country on our weekly show here, Aftermarket Weekly, and hear their story. And if not, what's going on in their world. And I know we can all learn and be inspired by shop owners like Todd Cole. So, hey, thanks so much for being here. What's going on next week? Next week is something really different, and it's a departure of what we normally do. We're going on a field trip next week, and we're going to have Rena Renabaum on from Empowered Advisor. And Rena is going to talk to us all about advisor training and service advisor training and how it relates to her avocado farm. You're going to absolutely loved it. We got in a four-wheel Jeep and traveled the hillside and learned something about avocados, but learned an awful lot about service advisors. So we're excited about that. We're really excited to have Rena on. And let me see, there's some new shows that just, we produce 8 shows a week for our beloved Aftermarket. Today, Susan Starnes came out, the VP of Emerging Technology at Napa, telling us all about the kind of, EV parts and all the latest stuff that Third Napa is doing to make sure we all have access to parts and equipment. Matt Fonslow came out with benefits to and from hiring veterans with Scott Shotton and Brandon Dills. Hunt Demarest, driving profits through labor. Very interesting episode. And relationships matter because no one's perfect, from Kim and Brian. I think we may be ready to head out and see our virtual shop tour, and as narrated by our great friend, our new friend here, Todd Cole. Let's go.
All right. So this was our morning walk through, and you can see we had somebody on the far right there blowing off and cleaning off what we call the deck. We'll come back to the drive-through that we have, and right there, it's kind of funny. You'll see a Christmas tree still sitting there, but my wife and I were talking one day, and after Christmas, and I hate taking down the tree because it always looks so bare, and she came up with an idea of constantly changing it with the themes. And that's done well. You can see the
I
carpet's messed
love
up.
that. I
Yeah,
love that.
the carpet got messed up because the cat ran out real fast. As we have a shop cat that adopted us, and there was the coffee station we had there for it. And up there at the top right, I guess I didn't get too good of a picture of it, but you can see, since 1967, those are the best of the best awards. The local paper does a vote, and all the subscribers will turn in their recommendations. Now, there's 3 others. Those are what we just won last year. So we actually got, I think it was the best oil change in the city, best auto repair, and then one I'm really really proud of is everyone coming in is always talking about how positive our front staff is, and our positive culture. And we actually, that last one, that last ribbon hanging in there is what we won the category for best places to work in our
Wow. I
city.
mean, Todd, I got to stop for a moment and give you all kinds of high fives on that. Let me make an assumption that when you took over from a 80-year-old shop owner who'd been there for multiple decades, uh, the changes that you probably brought to the place to change its culture, you got to be so proud of that.
Well, I like to think of it as like we just took it to a lot of those best of the best go back to when they started back in, I believe, in the early 90s.
Sure.
I just kind of like to carry on, kind of like passing the baton, you know, and learning from our senior tech, Carlos, and the previous owner. He still stops in on a regular basis. He constantly is giving us guidance and advice, my wife and I.
Wow. Yeah.
And Carlos also was a previous shop owner before he came to work for TC, and,
Wow.
and and that mindset really has helped the shop to continue to maintain a positive culture and be productive with good quality.
Well, this is a testament to his legacy and you continuing it. Nice.
Absolutely. So, and then we always have a birthday sign up. We started putting it up because we have so many employees. Then we started leaving it up, and then customers will walk in, they start laughing. They're like, "How did you know it was my birthday?" You know. so you know, so we just leave it up because every day is somebody's birthday.
I love
And
that.
and here's the state inspection room. Um, and we're not fully set up yet because I came in early to shoot everything. But this is just an extra waiting room. This was nice to have with a restroom, during COVID for people to kind of keep separate. This floor plan was an auto parts and service center, so that's why we were blessed to have such a big waiting room. And if you had noticed, there was some pegboard in the back, and that's where he used to have all the parts. But he's transitioned away from the parts side of the business, and now we stay focused on service. So this is the front row. I call it the first 8. So we have 7 bays. I'm sorry, 7 lifts with one state inspection bay. And it was kind of funny as I'm walking around the video. I'm telling them, pick up that rag. Get that going. You know. They weren't expecting me at 7, but normally at 7, to be out there with video, they weren't expecting me. But normally at 7, our crew comes in and they start getting ready for the day and cleaning up from the previous day, and that's what you'll see what's going on here, cleaning the floors and making sure it's safe for and ready and trash is emptied.
An awful lot of action at this place. Now, what do you mean by the first 8?
We have the first 8 that you saw lined up in the original video, and then we put 2 more in the back,
Ah, so you have 2 additional bays,
two additional lifts, and
and
well,
so that your team knows which part of the building, say a part would be in, it would be the first 8. I got it, okay.
yeah, I'm sure like a lot of shops would number their bays so that we know where the parts will go, and each tech kind of has a bay where they share a bay. So that also causes a lot of teamwork and understanding amongst each other
Yeah, yeah.
as
Do
well.
you pull stats for your technicians' efficiency, productivity at all? Do they know them?
We do. It's on the board behind me every Wednesday morning. We run a Wednesday through Tuesday week, and then on Wednesday morning we finish out our hours and we look at our productivity by tech.
Got
And
it.
so everybody knows. And it's a fun way as well to we let them know where they stand on productivity and how they're doing. But it's a fun way because we keep a scoreboard up in the back room where all their names are listed, and it's just fun competition and who's going to be number one and who's not going to be last.
Are there incentives based on reaching those goals or not?
Not at this point. I'm working with and have been for several years now, or since I started, actually. I signed up with ATI, and that was critical to understanding the numbers.
Sure.
And they have been a godsend to me and my wife to helping us understand what we need to do next to
So,
improve.
so important that you brought a coaching company on day one. Think of so many shop owners that they're 8, 9, 10 years in, and they've never actually looked for guidance from any coach. So, high five to you on that.
Well,
Okay,
I
let's keep
I I high five them double because
good.
they're amazing, and the guidance they give, the way they understand the numbers in this business in this industry is it's just unbelievable. It's every week I have something that I can work on and improve on, and then we share with our team. So you had asked if we had compensation for them, I believe, or
Yeah,
some people call it spiffs. We're
yeah,
actually working on that right now with ATI to roll that out at a technician level.
got it. Very good. And I think you had mentioned that are you mostly flat rate flagged hours or a
Flag.
combination?
No, we have flag, but then we have 3 general service
Got it.
individuals.
General service, which I love to call production apprentices.
Absolutely. They keep the cars. The first thing they do is they'll come in clean. They'll roll right over. They'll start grabbing tickets, lining this, stacking up, we call it, stacking up the cars for the tech. So when they roll in, because our goal is 8 o'clock, wrenches start turning.
Cool.
And so they'll be here about 7:45, and they know exactly what they need to do in the order they need to do them. So, in this sign here, I stole it from ATI, I believe. Um, and I have it, you know, printed out and up at both of our shops, um, because I truly believe in this statement. It's hard to see with that light. I couldn't get a good angle, but it says our success comes from the support and loyalty of our customers. Our mission is to take care of people. We just happen to also fix vehicles.
I love that sign, and I'm telling you, if a customer comes in and sees it, that's a great thing, but your team sees it all day long, and they appreciate and understand their purpose. That's a great thing.
Yeah, it takes care of the little things. It's nobody likes to get smear marks, get the vehicle back with smear marks or a dirty mat, and that kind of keeps everybody focused. And now I have a previous history, a short run at Chick-fil-A, and
Ah,
this used to be a pull up and park. And so what we did is one Saturday I went out there and I painted yellow arrows to give us, maybe you'll see it in later, but you can see the A-frame behind that car for a little bit there, but you see the blue cones, but we have 3 lanes. What we're at now, the far left is going to be our state inspections as they pull in. Oil changes, or the signage will be up later because they're still setting
yeah.
up for oil changes, and then engine diags and drop offs will be on the far far right as we stand here now.
Wow, and you pull that from Chick-fil-A?
I didn't know I was doing it, but people come in, they're like, "Wow, this is just like Chick-fil-A," because we just keep them moving. And in
I got it.
the process of how they sign in, I just I went over to Chick-fil-A and I was like, "Let's see how they do it. If they're going to give us that compliment." And yeah, I'll copy anything if I think it'll work.
So you decided to take the state inspections, the oil changes, and give them, if you will, a pathway,
A drive-through.
a drive-through,
Mhm.
and the rest of any mechanical work or diag work that people are coming into, do they really know where to pull?
Well, when they see the signs, it's a nice, or they've been here before. It's a nice flow. But we also have our shuttle driver, my wife's father, my father-in-law. He's when he's not shuttling, we will run out there and make sure and help them to get in the right lane if all possible.
Wow. This is the first I've ever seen a shop decked out with lanes, and I think it's a brilliant idea, especially if you're doing that kind of volume. Wow.
It just helps with the flow.
Yeah, I get it.
And normally we have, like many shops, you'll have a dedicated spot for the tow trucks, but they've already got filled up as of last night with the two. And we'll be making our way back here to the back two bays.
Mm.
Now I don't know if you saw it, but I had sprayed some insulation on the other part
I
of the
did.
building.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
that was extremely helpful with the foam spray to just reduce the temperature in the middle of the summer. And then this year we did a heavy investment in portacools throughout the shop, and that's helped to lower the temperature as well.
Got it. Now, is this the state inspection?
No, this is our back two bays.
Okay. Oh,
This
the
is
back 2.
nine
Got it.
and 10. The state inspection's the one without the lift in it, and it'll be bay number 3 from the right.
Man, do you have an operation there. Wow.
We have good
S
people,
Well,
and that
yeah,
helps.
it seems I don't think you could do this without great people and a good culture, and a great network, a coaching company. Super congrats to you, Todd. I love what you did. Thanks for coming on the show and sharing your operation. And, just he's a newbie in the industry, and he's doing so well and getting a lot of awards. That's great.
Well, you hope to keep it going, and couldn't done it without the help of my wife. She does the back office, and that's not my strong point. So hats off to her for keeping things rolling.
Well, I have to tell you, the wives that work inside of our industries, they are heroes for us. Not only is she doing the things you don't wanna do, but she's probably your heart and your soul, and, it helps keep you on track.
Yeah, Millie does great at keeping me on track.
Millie, well, you say hello to Millie for me, and maybe one day we'll have Millie on to talk about the role she plays
That'd
for
be
you.
great. That'd be great.
That
Maybe
would be that'd be so hey, look at everyone, we are, we're out of time, but, don't forget this, we always publish this as a podcast each and every Saturday. You can watch this over and over again on our YouTube channel. So Todd Cole, TC's Auto Service, Corpus Christi, Texas, thank you so much for sharing and, letting us see inside your shop. Appreciate it.
thanks for having me, Carm. Keep up the good work.
Thanks, man.